Hampshire, whether this is your first time voting or you've been a New Hampshire voter for years, I'm glad you're watching this because the laws in your state have changed a little since the last election. If you want to vote, first, you'll need to register. If you're not sure whether you're registered, there's a link in the description where you can check. It says it's for looking up your party affiliation, but it will only pull up a record if you've already registered, so that will give you an answer. You can also check your registration status by calling your town or city clerk's office. There's a link to all of their contact information in the description. So what if you're not registered or you need to update your name or address on your registration? In New Hampshire, you have to register in person, either at your city or town clerk's office in advance. That ends about 1 to 2 weeks before election day, but it varies by town, so check with your town clerk for your exact deadline. If you have a disability that prevents you from registering in person, you can also contact your town clerk and have them send you an absentee registration application. But no matter where in New Hampshire you live, you can also register at your polling place on election day. When you register, you should bring a photo ID like a driver's license, state ID, student ID, or passport, and a proof of residence like a bank statement, utility bill, paycheck, or lease with your name and address on it. There's a link in the description where you can find your clerk's office to go get registered or ask any registration questions that you have. So once you're registered, you get to vote. In most cases, you're going to be voting in person on November 6th in New Hampshire, unless you'll be out of town on election day or have a disability or religious belief that doesn't allow you to get to the polls. If any of those situations do apply to you, there's a link below to where you can apply for an absentee ballot. You have until November 5th at 5 p.m. to get your request in, but the sooner you do it, the longer you'll have to get your ballot in the mail, fill it out at your own pace, and either mail it back by November 6th or drop it off at your clerk's office by November 5th. For the rest of you, you'll need to head to the polls on November 6th. You can look up where to go to vote using the link in the description. The hours that polls are open vary from town to town, but that same link where you look up your polling place will tell you exactly what times you can vote. You'll need to bring a photo ID with you, like a driver's license, state ID, passport, student ID, or military ID. If you don't have one of these, you may still be allowed to vote if you sign an affidavit that says that you're you. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask the poll workers. Remember, they're there to help you vote. If you want to see everything that's going to be on the ballot ahead of time, you can go to your local clerk's website to find your sample ballot. This gives you a chance to see everything you get to vote for this year. You don't have to vote for every item on the ballot for it to be counted, but those local elections are pretty important, so this just gives you the chance to do the research on the candidates for your local elections ahead of time. If you want to, you can even print one out and bring it to the polls with you so that you can remember how you want to vote. The best thing to do if you want to vote in the midterms is to make a plan to vote right now, from what day you're going to register to whether you're going to go vote in person or absentee, what kind of ID you're going to use, and where it is, even what time you're going to go vote and how you're going to get there. Write it down, put it in your notes app, text it to a friend. Just make a plan so that nothing unexpected stops you from being counted on November 6th. All the links you need to check your registration and polling location will be in the description. Thank you for voting.